Hey guys, so right in front of me I have 8 different batters that represent 8 different cultures' idea of a perfect pancake. Today we're gonna try to make them all, taste them all, and then we're gonna compare them. But not to see which one's the best, because that's a subjective thing and that's something I want to know from you actually. But because there's so much cool food and culture stuff to learn along the way. First of all, let's answer one very important question. What exactly is a pancake? That's kind of what I was wondering, and that is what led me down this incredible research rabbit hole, looking into almost 30 different types of pancakes from around the world, and oh boy, are those differences fascinating. We're gonna get into some of that, but first, if like the United Nations had to come up with one common definition for a pancake, I think this is kind of what it could look like. Number 1, a pancake must contain at least one starchy ingredient, usually some type of flour. Number 2, a pancake must contain at least one liquid ingredient. That's usually water, milk, something like that. Number 3, the pancake batter must be thin enough that you can pour it. I think if you have to knead the dough or roll it out, that's where pancakes end and flatbreads begin. And finally, number 4, a pancake must be cooked quickly on a hot flat surface. Now, I'm from Germany, but my family is originally from Russia, so it might not come as a big surprise to you that I grew up on my babushka's bliny or blinchiki. That's a Russian style of pancake. So yeah, I might be biased, but I really think they are a perfect starting point on this world pancake journey. All right, Russian bliny or blinchiki. They're as basic as it gets. Always start by mixing your dry ingredients first. That's wheat flour seasoned with salt and sugar in this case. Then we add our wet ingredients. An egg will bring snappy firmness to the pancake when it cooks, and some softened butter adds richness. The base liquid here is milk, which I add bit by bit to avoid lumps until I have the consistency I am going for. The milk is mildly sweet and has a bit of fat for extra creaminess. And in terms of consistency, it is thin with 5 ends because you want to be able to pour the stuff directly onto the pan. And one more thing, guys, I'm not always a huge fan of non-stick pans, but in this case, please do yourselves the favor and get a non-stick pan. I got mine preheated on medium-high, and I'm still gonna go in with a little bit of clarified butter. With this pan, it's actually more for taste than anything else. Swirl it around to spread the batter into a very thin layer. Try to get it as even as possible, but don't worry if it's not perfect, because pancakes are pretty forgiving. If you feel like your batter is too thick and it doesn't really spread around the pan, just add an extra splash of milk. If it's too thin, add a little bit of flour. You can tweak and adjust almost all pancake recipes as you go. So, you know, there are lots of second chances. So you want to get a little bit of golden color on both sides. Flipping a thin pancake like this does take a little bit of practice, but if the bottom has properly cooked through and lightly browned, it's usually not that difficult. There are many ways to serve blini. Sometimes they're stuffed with sweet or savory fillings, but we're gonna keep it classic. We're gonna fold them in half twice and then top with sour cream and a little bit of jam. So to me, no doubt about it, when you say pancake, I will think of something like this. Like this is a good old blinchik. Okay, let me try this. This should taste like home. Lots of sour cream, lots of jam on this bite, just the way it should be. Oh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Tender, buttery rich, very mild in flavor itself, but the amazing fruity sweetness of the jam with a little bit of that tang from sour cream, fantastic. I can't stop, but I have to stop because we have 7 more pancakes from around the world ahead of us. So to me, aside from maybe the size, there's no real substantial difference between a Russian blin and a French crepe. But France cannot be missing in this video, and fortunately, France has another and pretty underrated pancake to share with the world. We are, of course, talking about the French galette. It's pretty much the same idea and also batter type as a crepe, but it uses buckwheat flour instead. And buckwheat has nothing to do with regular wheat, by the way. It's actually related to rhubarb, so completely different plant. So first we want to prepare a crepe-style pancake, just like we did with the blin, but that is only half the story. Galettes are traditionally served with savory toppings, like this traditional creamed spinach, Comté cheese, and egg combo. We also need to fold it in this specific way. Don't ask me where that's from, but that's how it's done. Not gonna lie, this smells incredible. Ooh, I am so looking forward to this. So I got myself an entire corner, steaming hot. Let's see what you taste like. I never had any doubts, but this confirms it for sure. I am 100% a savory pancake guy. This is amazing. So the pancake itself is as tender and as light as a crepe or a blin. However, it has a very interesting, complex, nutty note, which I know not everybody's a fan of buckwheat, but it's good. All those rich toppings. I mean, so my verdict is that I love both the crepe and the galette. The difference is not huge. This one just has a little bit of a nutty note, but I think this one is perfect for savory fillings, while maybe the other ones are more suited for sweet stuff. But hey, there are no boundaries ever in the kitchen. All right, I think we've acquired some pretty substantial base knowledge, and it's time to venture out a bit further in the world of pancakes. We've only used grain flours as a pancake base so far, but what if we change that up a little bit? Enter Venezuelan cachapas. I never made those before, so I am very curious because the base here is actually a can of sweet corn. Why not? I mean, it has starch as well, right? So you put that in a blender with a few of the other usual suspects. The only one of note here being a bit of masa flour instead of wheat flour, but you can substitute that with wheat flour in a pinch. We get a very thick paste that should still be a little bit chunky, and then we form like a hand-sized patty and fry it until almost charred on both sides, melting like a layer of queso mano, or in my case mozzarella, on top and folding it a bit like a taco. So this one, I gotta admit, it was really tricky. I had to adjust the batter a few times with some extra masa to make it work, but I think I got something. Yeah, well, this recipe needs some work. This one I can't even fold, but I'm gonna show you this one. Here it is, cute little pancake, almost taco, right? So if you're watching and you know how to make these properly, I'm actually interested in figuring this out. So make sure to let me know, but I'm gonna try this one now. Okay, taste-wise, this is good. I think more cheese would be better even. So the flavor expectedly is very, very sweet, but this thing is also incredibly moist and juicy. And then of course there's this rich carpet of corn flavor that kind of works as a great foundation for the entire flavor of this thing. Very interesting. Very intriguing. As you can see, almost any starchy vegetable can indeed be pancaked. But what if we started thinking beyond ingredients and more in the direction of texture? Yes, I am talking about fluffy, spongy, leavened pancakes. Now, I'm sure we all saw that one coming, the classic American pancake. We've seen most of the ingredients before. The important difference would be the addition of both baking powder and baking soda, which will let the batter rise in the pan. Their alkaline quality is being balanced with buttermilk, which also gives American pancakes their signature tang. The batter here is significantly thicker than a blin's, but you need to hit that sweet spot where it's still runny enough to expand and form a perfect flat circle on the pan. You'll want to get that pancake golden brown from both sides. These are super easy to handle, and we all know how to finish this. Stack them up with a good knob of butter and a generous drizzle of maple syrup. All right, let's just go like this. I don't even know. How do you even eat a stack of pancakes? Do you eat them at the same time? I think so. Show me what you got, American pancake. Okay, it's pretty damn good. It's very fluffy. It's very, very fluffy. Honestly, much, much better than I remember American pancakes. Maybe I should eat them once in a while. Or maybe not. They're so fluffy and soft that they're almost silky. It's a thing of beauty. And I gotta say, maple syrup is my favorite sweetener of all time. I drink my morning coffee with a little dash of maple syrup and I love it. Why can't pancakes taste worse? All right, so we can use baking soda to leaven a pancake and make it fluffy. But what about a very different style of leavening? I'm talking yeast. And to explore how yeast works in a pancake, I would like to take you to the Horn of Africa, specifically to Somalia. So good. Let me know in the comments what your favorite is, if I was missing anything in the ones that I made, and hope you're subscribed and hit the bell so you don't miss the next video, because there is so much good food in the world. See you there.